with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Monday. I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far. What a great start to the week we are having. I hope you guys are rocking out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions you have for this week and are currently making it happen. What a beautiful day we have here today. A little bit on the humid side, but hey, it's better than being rainy and gloomy like it's been for the last little bit. Quickly, before we get started here, what do we got? Convention tickets have officially gone on sale. It is doTERRA's yearly event teaching a bunch about the science behind essential oils, why they work, how they work with us, a little bit about the chemistry between us and the plants, the oils, different tips and strategies on how to reduce the toxic load in your life. There's going to be new product launches, exclusive products that aren't normally for resale. It's going to be a really cool time. It's about a week-long event, right? So there is so much to get covered in that amount of time. So it definitely, if you or somebody you know of is interested in learning more about essential oils, how they work, why you should be interested in them, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. It will be held in person. It's going to be in Utah. So so definitely reach out to me. We'll get you travel arrangements, hotel accommodations if you're interested in attending in person. However, there is also a live stream version. That's the one that I'm super excited about. There's an option to add on a swag box. That's what I love. Last year we got a cool backpack. Comes with exclusive oils that aren't normally for resale. And there's so much cool stuff. It's such a fun time. I love it. I'm so excited to be for it to be close as it is. So tickets go up in price at the end of the month. So we still have a little bit over a week to lock in the lowest possible price. I believe the difference is something like $50 Canadian. So definitely we want to lock in the lowest possible price. So if this is something that interests you, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll definitely get you rocking and rolling. Second, I have launched a weight loss course for beginners. It is an online digital course for download. Discover 5 little known secrets on how to lose weight. If you or somebody you know of is interested in dropping a few pounds now that the summer months are officially upon us, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message. We'll get you rocking and rolling. There's so much cool stuff that comes along with the initial launch, and I'm super excited to get it out there. Lastly, doTERRA has dollar days going on. This is a promotion that's going on to where if you spend 150 PV, which is about $150 to $200, you will actually get $50 in free product points back. So if you were interested at all or on the fence a little bit about essential oils, if this is something that you're interested in, trying, or something that you should be interested in, right? Definitely now is the time to take advantage of it, because you basically get paid to try oils for the first time. I believe it's only for new customer signups, but definitely, right? If you, that's the reason we do most things in life, right? For money, to get paid for it. That's the reason I go to work every day. So definitely get paid to use essential oils. That's basically a way to put it. And that gets me excited. So definitely reach out to me if you've been on the fence about essential oils, or if you're looking to make a dive in there. Definitely now is the time to get started, because you do get paid for it. Whew. All right, that's all I got for you for today. I promise there's so much more going on, but I need to cap it at that, or else we will just go on and on and on. So today, what I wanted to talk about, actually, what was interesting is a little bit ago, it was actually International Chess Day. And chess, if you're not really familiar, is a game of thinking, wits, strategizing, and it is basically, I don't know if it is the most, but it is right up there with the most popular games in the world. It can basically be played by anybody, and it can be a fun time for anybody involved. You don't actually have to know, quote unquote, what you're doing in order to, know what you're doing, right? So that's actually what I wanted to talk about a little bit today, was how to strategize for your life. Easy to incorporate strategies to help you live that life of your dreams, right? There is Winston Churchill actually said it the best. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I really love that one, because that also works out in the way of you become what you think of, right? So if we become what we think of, and we don't actually have a strategy or a plan in place, right, chances are we are going to be drifting off the wayside, and we won't actually understand what it needs or what it takes to, to get on the path to live the life that we want to, right? So that's why I wanted to come on. I've got some strategies, some tips, some easy to incorporate habits, I guess, if you will, on how to strategize for your life, and step into that new life that you've been dreaming of, or that you've been thinking of, or that you've been wondering about if it's for you, right? Now's the time. Let's put a strategy in place and get there. All right. Number 1, focus on your water intake. Bet you weren't expecting me to go there, right? Yes, definitely. Nutrition has to be the number 1 thought in your life, basically at all times. Now, if you are not able to meet the quote-unquote nutritious or nutrient level, right, intake, if you will, you definitely have to be focusing on your water intake, because, and I have actually a little note session here thing, if you will, about water, why you should be interested, and if you will, indulge me for a little bit here. So drinking plenty of water is an important part of maintaining a healthy weight and a nutritious diet. Water plays an essential role in helping your body process nutrients, maintain normal circulation, and keep the proper balance of fluids. If you are exercising, you will definitely need to consume more water than any other time in the day, right? Nowadays, we are in the summer months. We are going through quite the heat wave, especially up here in Canada. So for us, it's a little bit hotter than normal, right? So we are sweating a little bit more than normal. We are releasing more oils, salts, fluids than we normally do. So even if you're not exercising, the summer months especially, when you sweat a little bit more than regular, that's when you're going to need to consume a little bit more water than you do on a normal daily schedule. How much water is enough? As a general guideline, try to stick to 6 to 8 ounce glasses per day. If you exercise, again, even in the summer months, right, you're going to need a little bit more water than normal, right? You can usually trust your sense of thirst to let you know when you need a drink. Your sense of thirst, combined with simply paying attention to how many glasses of water in a day, can help you keep your body hydrated. So that's it, right? Especially in terms of figuring out when you're thirsty, right? A lot of times your sense of thirst will come in, and it can tell you, right, if you are meeting your daily fluid intake, right? One of the other things that I learned in this specific regard was that athletes actually learn to drink on a specific schedule, right? To make sure that they're intaking enough fluids and water throughout the day. Athletes are different breed than regular average people, right? So we don't need to be that strict, but you can see how that would be very beneficial if you just drink on schedule. We as people are creatures of habit, right? So we have a better sense of control in our life when we're doing things in a routine as a sense of habit, right? So when we get into that habit of drinking on schedule, that's how we can know that we will eventually get enough liquid intake, throughout the day. So another thing, our bodies are about 60% water, and while watery foods can help meet our needs. Most of our daily water intake is met through the fluids that we drink. I like that because, so first of all, 60% water, right? That means to me, right away, we need to consume water more than anything else on a daily basis, right? If we take 100% of our whole body, 50% would be half, right? So 60% is more than half. We are more water than anything else in our body, right? So we need to be consuming more water than anything else. So if we're 60% water, right, that means, right, stick with me a little bit, you're going to need to consume about half your body weight in ounces per day, right? So if we take the 6 to 8 ounce glass as like a general guideline, for me, I'm roughly in the 200 pound range, right? So if we take 8 ounce glasses, multiply it by 10, that's 80 ounces of water, right? So for me, I'm about 200 pounds. I would need a little bit more than 80 ounces, or than 10 glasses of water, that 80 ounce mark, right? For me, 88, 96, I would need more in the 12, maybe 13 glass range. And then especially if I'm doing exercise, that's more. And nowadays, it's really hot out, so that's even more, right? So for me, if I need 12 right now, I'm probably more like the 15, 16 glass range, right? So just as a little bit of a reference point right there, if you will. Next thing I wanted to talk about was what I just said, watery foods, right? We can supplement our water intake by watery foods, right? Cucumbers, watermelon, celery, so foods like that where it's not really too much of a calorie intake, but it is helping you meet your water intake. Also, it's helping you, get full and use more food or consume more food throughout the day. So, right? Number one thing to take care of your overall wellness, the number one strategy to live the life of your dreams should be to focus on your nutrition, but more than anything, focus on your water intake. If you don't like the taste of water, that's the one thing that I hear more than anything, right? When people don't like the bland taste of water, definitely do what you can to try and spice up the taste, right? Consider adding lemons to it. I love using essential oils, right? So a lime is another great one. Tina and I, we've actually been on that lime kick where we squeeze a lime out, and then that way, lemons and limes are great actually just for a natural cleanse and detoxify, because there's a lot of gunk that gets stored up in our bodies that if we're not consciously taking care of it, that it can lead to down the line health problems, right? So that's where we need to take care of it. Number 2 strategy to consider to live your best life: fitness, exercise. And it's not, I don't have down here just a specific exercise, right, or a general idea of what you need to do. I have specifically fit in fitness to your schedule, right? We live very busy on-the-go lifestyles as people, right? And I actually this is perfect because I actually had this conversation with a fellow worker today. They are in the process of trying to incorporate a gym regimen into their daily routine, and I thought that was amazing. But this is a person that has not been to the gym in a long while and wants to incorporate an hour of exercise every single day into their day right now. Now, that is a very great, ambitious goal. I love it. I love hearing it. I love when people say that they want to do something and they have a specific destination in mind, right? This person is looking to incorporate 1 hour of exercise every single day if possible, right? That's amazing. There is no problem with that at all. The thing to realize more than anything is that we live very busy lifestyles. This is just one of the things that was brought up in conversation, right? For us at work, it's a little bit different now, but when we're regularly working, we're 10 hours every day, plus, a Saturday or Sunday shift every once in a while. And on top of that, right, we're sleeping. I would only assume that eventually you have to sleep, right? And more often than not, eventually you're going to have to eat, right? So if we are 10 hours at work and, sleeping for, if we're doing the recommended amount, that's 8 hours. But, maybe we do 6 or 7 hours, right? Add on top eating time, which is about an hour, right, throughout the day, give or take, maybe more, maybe less, but about an hour, right? So we're left with 17, 18 hours in the day that is already accounted for. Everybody in the world only has 24 hours in the day. That's just the way it works. I don't have any more or less time. I don't believe that you have any more or less time. And if you do, definitely tell me. I would love to have a couple extra hours in the day. But if we're just looking at it like that, right, 24 hours in the day minus 18 hours already accounted for, that only leaves 6 hours in the day to get everything else that you need to accomplish, right? Now, is 1 hour out of those 6 a huge sacrifice? No, it's not. Not even at all. That is, at that point, literally, what? Less than 20, about 15% of your day, right? Or of the time that you have left. So, the only thing that I like to say about that is that it's really great to have the motivation and to have the idea that that's the way that you want to do it, right? An hour every single day. But the reality comes into the fact that maybe not, but maybe that's not doable. And now maybe it is. Maybe it totally is doable. And I'm completely wrong on this. And this person's gonna rock out an hour of the gym every single day, and the motivation's there, and that's awesome. And I love it. And I love to hear stories like that. The fact of the matter is, right? For the majority of people, after about a week or two, when we are just worn down and run down, the motivation really starts to fade. And, it gets harder and harder for us to want to do any sort of movement, right? And it gets easier and easier for us to kind of give ourselves that little break, right? Like, you worked really hard today. That's cool. Don't even worry about it. Or, you ate really well today. So, we don't really need to worry about it, right? It can be very easy for us to let ourselves off the hook, right? So, now, that's just harping on an irrelevant subject. But my point is, maybe you don't have time to incorporate a full hour of exercise at the gym, right? So that's where for the regular majority of people, we need to find a way to fit in fitness wherever we can into our regular life, right? Because if we already only have 6 hours in the day to accomplish everything else that we need to, then you better believe we need to be as efficient as possible all the time, right? So I actually have a list of things right here to help to sort of incorporate some exercise into your daily life. Number 1, take the stairs instead of the elevator or the escalator. Now, this one can be done for the most part if you have access to that. For me, I live in an apartment building, and we live on the 9th floor. So if I was to tell myself to take the stairs instead of the elevator to the 9th floor every single day, twice, 3 times a day, I'd probably tell myself to kick rocks, because there ain't no way that that's going to be sustainable. But for me, I would tell myself, right, maybe get off the elevator at the 8th floor or the 7th floor, right? And we do 1 or 2 flights just to get, and we get a little bit of movement in our lives just that way, right? Maybe we up that to 3 or 4 floors after a week or 2, right? Walk or bike to nearby destinations instead of driving, right? If it is accessible, definitely consider walking to the corner store or, the gas station if you need to pick up something, or, wherever is close in proximity that you would normally drive to. We're just trying to fit in fitness wherever we can. Another one is to park your car further from the grocery store, or further from the door at the grocery store, right? Give you a little bit of extra movement that way. For us, actually, we set up an exercise bike right in front of the TV. So anytime that we are watching TV, instead of us just being on the couch, we actually have an exercise bike set up facing the TV so we can get a little bit of movement that way. Gardening, yard work, right? That's definitely movement. Short walk before or after dinner. Walk up and down the stairs. I like that. Another one that I really like is the headset, right? The Bluetooth headset. So if you're taking a call, right, you got your Bluetooth headset, and then that way you can just walk around while you're talking on the phone, as opposed to just being in one specific spot. So that's where, right, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here, in the sense that we need to be focused on getting a little bit of movement in our day every day, but we also have to be conscious of our schedule and just, do little things differently. It's just a few different things, or a few things differently, and I promise it will change the entire course of the way that you think of things. Number 3, make lists. Actually, let me focus on my water intake. I'm telling you, this stuff's easy. It's not hard. This stuff's easy. List making. I actually didn't really understand the benefit of list making before Tina really dragged it in, or really dug it into me about how great it is. And I used to think that she was a lunatic, because she's got a list, and then a list for that list, and then a list for this list, and then a master list of everything that needs to be done, and each room has their own list, and then there's a list for that list, and then to make sure that there's stuff on that list. And it's crazy. It is actually crazy, until I actually had her explain the method of the madness, and it looks ridiculous, trust me. But if you actually get into the habit of doing it, it is a huge lifesaver. It is such a great thing. Also, more than anything, just from a motivational standpoint, I know Tina's the same, and I do this. Sometimes we put things on our list that we've already done just to check it off, so that it gives us something more that we can check off. It's that little bit of a motivational factor, right? Every once in a while, things need to be done. There is something that needs to be done always, right? The fact that, we have so much going on in our life already. I know it happens, and stuff gets neglected. Trust me. We are not immune to anything else that anybody else is, right? Life gets hectic, things get a little bit out of place, and every once in a while, we need to, get it back to regular life, right? So that's where the list making comes in handy, and it is so great for really every part of life, right? We, like I said, with Tina in general, there is 100 different lists going on at any moment in time, and it just works, right? It's one of those things that you don't really understand it until you get into it and realize the benefits on how much it can help your life. It helps everything from, us making a list as to what kind of food we need to pick up at the grocery store, a list as to what types of things that we're looking to accomplish this weekend, a list on what we need to do in our business, right? A list as to what needs to be done at the house, right? And when you have these stuff written down, because that's really what it is for me more than anything, is I really have a terrible memory. So for me to trust my memory, and that was actually it more than anything, was I was explained to me, don't trust your memory. Write everything down, and I can vouch for that 100%. I am terrible at remembering most things, right? There's a few different things that I can remember always, but for the most part, it was a godsend to have stuff get written down on a piece of paper, and it just turned out to be in a list form, right? And then it was, okay, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I need to do this, and that's really what it is. It comes down to, at this current moment, is it on the list? Well, no, it's not. Why is it not on the list, right? So I'm telling you, list making was a godsend for me. Outside of meal prepping, right? I think this was the thing that, helped change my life. I always thought that it was a crazy idea until I started doing it, and it has made the most impact, not only from a production standpoint, but like I said, also a motivational standpoint, right? You cross things off, just gives you that motivation to want to keep going, keep crossing things off. I like it, actually, if you wanted to think of it in a different aspect, and I literally just thought of this right now. When you used to take a test in school, right? Check mark, check mark, check mark, check mark was nice. It was nice to look at. And with the list making, your check, 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 check makes you feel like you're doing really well at a test. I don't know, I just thought about that. I think maybe that'll be good. If this is one of those that if you do end up making lists for everything that's going on in your life and prioritizing everything in your life down on paper and getting everything organized that way, and it makes zero difference in your life, it does not help you at all, list making actually made your life more difficult and didn't help you at all, oh, definitely come back and tell me about that, because I would love to hear that story. And oh man, that would be amazing. Number 4, choose happiness. Choose to be happy. Do not choose to be angry. Do not choose to be upset. Do not choose to look at the dark side of everything. Do not choose to always bring everything down. Do not do that to yourself, right? Because we want to choose happiness. There's so much for us to be happy for, right? So much. It's just little things, like there's things going on around the world that we actually have no idea about, and that's sort of our privilege to be over here, especially in North America, right? Canada, USA, maybe we'll classify the UK in there somewhat, but we are very fortunate in that we have and can get basically everything that we want in life, right? It's not hard to accomplish anything. It's not hard to go out and get anything. If you want something, it is nothing more than a simple Amazon search as to how to get it. And it can be here in priority shipping. It can be here tomorrow, right? So that's where we really can lose sight of the fact that we have so much more going for us than anybody else in the world, and we have so much more to be happy about than anybody else in the world. It can be very easy for us to compare ourselves to other people, to want what they have, to not understand why they can get stuff and we can't, to think that they've got it easier than we do, to think that, oh well, of course they've got it easy, their dad knows somebody or something like that, right? So those are really just scapegoats for us not wanting to do the hard work, right? It is hard work. Life in general is hard work. And the fact that you keep going in the face of everything else, that is strength, power right there enough. Right? So there's no reason that you should always be upset. There's no reason that you should always be looking at the dark side of things. There's no reason that you can't choose to be happy and portray happiness out into the world, right? You know those people, the people that you think everything happens for them. They're so lucky. Everything, their life is so great, and my life is down in the dumps. It's because they portray a goodness coming into their life, right? They don't think negative thoughts. They think happy thoughts. They choose to be happy. They don't choose to be upset. They choose to be happy because in the long run, choosing to be happiness, you will get more happiness. I said it right off the top of the show here that we become what we think about. So it has to be that if you think positive thoughts, you will achieve positive results because we become what we think about, right? So it is very much that simple if you can wrap your head around it. Choose to be happy. Look at the bright side of things. My last tip, more than anything, is essential oils. I have it's called the Yoga Collection here from doTERRA. It comes in a cool little box, nice oils. But I have these blends here for a reason. And the first one is called Anchor, the second one is called Affirm, and the third one is called Arise. And they all work for a specific reason. Anchor is, when you're trying to find really that position in life right? Think about an anchor. What does an anchor do for a boat? It keeps it right in position, and it doesn't allow it to stray. It keeps it right focused on point. Affirm when you need to really, when you need to take control of your life and you really need to, I am not going to stand for negativity anymore, right? I am going to affirm myself and make myself be happier. And then arise. I love that one, right? Arise, basically out of the ashes like a phoenix. Yes, do it. Rise up into the new persona. Live your best life. Make other people jealous. Be awesome. You got it in you. That's all I've got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun. Feel free to share this with your friends, a family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils or how to get your hands on some of this cool stuff that I'm talking about, or if you'd like a free sample of oils just to get your hands on a little taste tester before you make a full-on commitment, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message saying me, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week. And I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.